Good evening. Now you know you're at McCaskey. Please take your seats. Fifth period is about to begin. My name is Jim Beidel. I'm a member of the class of 1953, about to celebrate its 35th anniversary. And boy, does that make us feel old. And there are a few of us here. Would you cheer loudly? Thank you. Welcome, students. This is the stuff this evening of which memories are made, so pay close attention. You too will get your chance. Alumni, the room has barely changed. What do you think? Of course, neither have we, except perhaps for the better. I have the great honor of introducing to you the principal, present principal, of John Pearsall McCaskey High School, Mr. John Seifert.
Usual greeting is welcome to McCaskey. This evening, I believe that it would be more appropriate for me to say welcome home. Some of you have returned from right here in Lancaster. Some of you have come from different parts of our state, and some of you have even traveled from out of state to come back to McCaskey. Regardless of where your travel has brought you, where your journey has been, I believe that all of you share in having a similar sensation inside of you when you come across Victory Field or you drive up to the front of McCaskey and you see that grand old tower. Returning to McCaskey, particularly after a long separation, is in many ways like when you take your children or your grandchildren back to the home where you were born and raised and tell them all about it. That feeling was very vividly conveyed to me earlier this school year in the fall. It was at the conclusion of our Hall of Fame induction program. And it was late afternoon, and just about everyone had gone. And it was then time for me to leave, and I was leaving down the driveway in the north parking lot. And I noticed out in the front of the school across the street at Victory Field, there was a gentleman standing there, and this gentleman was one of the recipients, one of the inductees into our Hall of Fame. And he was standing at Victory Field with his wife and children, looking across at McCaskey and taking pictures of it. As he had returned home. I'd like to speak briefly about the program this evening, because it is the program that has brought us all together. McCaskey has many proud traditions, academically, athletically, and in the arts. When the 50th anniversary committee met to develop a series of programs that would reflect these fine traditions and that at the same time would involve as many people as possible, one of its choices was very obvious. What finer way of reflecting a tradition and the quality of the arts? What more appropriate means of representing excellence in teaching, continuity in program, and unity in spirit than in our choral program? 2 directors, and 50 wonderful years. It all began right here in this auditorium 50 years ago, almost to the day. May 20 and 21, 1938. Under the direction of Dorothy E. Schopp and assisted by over 70 members of her chorus, the first student presentation was given here in this auditorium. And of course that presentation was Gilbert and Sullivan's The Mikado. Since then, there have been countless memorable moments, not only in our choral program, but of course in our school, including the trip this spring that our current choral group, our vocal ensemble, made to England with their director, Orville Kahn, to participate in an international competition. So here we are, 50 years combined, close to 2,300 of us, home again, each representing in their own way a very, very important part of our 50 years here at McCaskey. But you know, our coming together really hasn't been an easy task. In fact, it's been a very, very difficult task. Only through the commitment and the tremendous effort, one that is really most worthy of our appreciation and our recognition, are we here this evening. I would like, before we begin our program, if you could please join me in recognizing 2 ladies who have devoted themselves during the school year to bringing us all together this evening. Would you please, again, join me in recognizing Fran Keller and Dolly Buckwater. If they're here, would you please stand? True to Fran's nature, as she never wants to take credit for anything and always wants everyone else to receive their due credit, her last-minute instructions to me, and very, very well taken. As most of you know, this week has been McCaskey Arts Festival, and it's been running the entire week. Again, a tremendous effort on the part of Fran and Dolly, but also on the part of the many students who participated in it, and particularly all the young men and women who have worked behind the scenes, have worked the lights, just taken care of everything for us, and have devoted their hours this week to preparing not only a week of programs, but of course a special one this evening. Could you please join me in recognizing these young students? And now I'd like to introduce to you a gentleman who is serving in his first year as superintendent of the School District of Lancaster, Dr. Roger Place.
Thank you, Mr. Seifert. I too would like to welcome you. Welcome home to those of you who are our distinguished alums. I'd also like to look forward into the future to our current choral ensemble and choral members. Before going on, I'd like to thank a number of people who made this possible. I'm going to call your names or call your groups and ask if you'd be kind enough to stand and remain standing until I've completed the list. The first is the school board for their wholehearted and enthusiastic support of this event. School board members, school directors, would you please stand? Please remain standing. All the administrators, central office administrators, and McCaskey administrators who helped with this. Rosina Gooden and the McCaskey office staff for the tremendous job that they did in attending to hundreds and thousands of details which made this event possible. Eugene Miller and his cafeteria staff for the reception to follow and innumerable details attendant to that. Lloyd Hall and the maintenance and custodial staffs for putting this all together. Pam Haynes and the people of the School District of Lancaster Print Shop, Jackie Schishler, and the Mail Center at the Sheffey Service Center for sending out all the mail and all the invitations and everything that went along with that. In addition, I'd like to also ask Fran Keller if she's returned down to the audience to stand, and also Dolly Buckwater. They are the two primary movers in this whole evening. Another thing that I'd like to mention, and these are the ones that we know, this is, and thank you very much for standing. Another thing that makes this evening very interesting is that we had parents and children on the stage. Now, we're sure that we probably missed some people, but here are the ones that we know for sure. Charlotte Metzger Albright, class of 1961. Would you stand, please? Thank you. Please remain standing. And her daughter, Chris, who is a senior, choral ensemble, and Davis Albright, her son, who graduated in the class of 1987. Please remain standing. Tybal Karpus, class of 1959, and her daughter, Kathy. Pamela, class of 1986, and Tina, class of 1984. And the final parent and child that we're aware of is John Rutherford and his daughter Kay, who is a junior. Round of applause. Thank you very much. As I said, there may be more, but these were the ones that we were sure of. We're not sure whether it's possible to have three generations, and if it is possible, we weren't able to find anybody in those 50 years. They would probably be pushing it. I'd like to close with a quotation. And after I read the quotation to you, what I'd like to do then is to change a word or two in it, and perhaps make it more meaningful to our current choral members, chorus members, and also to our alums. And this quotation comes from Arthur William Edgar O'Shaughnessy, and it reads as follows: "We are the music makers, and we are the dreamer of dreams, yet we are the movers and shakers of the whole world forever, it seems." I'd like to change the "we" to "you," and if you'll excuse me, I'd like to address the ensemble, probably more than an ensemble, and say, you are the music makers, and you are the dreamer of dreams. And to the alums, yet you are the movers and shakers of the whole world forever, it seems. Thank you, God bless you, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. I will not speechify, and you don't have to applaud that. I would like, with great humility and great delight, introduce to you the two distinguished honored guests this evening, Miss Dorothy Schock and Mr. Orville Cotton. That's the most recent production on this stage. The original production on this stage was mentioned earlier, a performance of the operetta The Mikado by Gilbert and Sullivan. A substantial number of the members of the cast of that are congregated here on the stage and are going to entertain you with reminiscences of the Mikado. To introduce them, well, let me say first of all, before I agreed to do this little MC stunt, I understood the Mikado cast was being sought out, and I said only on one condition will I MC, and that is if I am automatically elevated to an honorary member of the class, or at least the cast of the 1938 Mikado, and can sing with them. I think they had several meetings to try to decide whether that was proper or not, but nonetheless, I am singing with them, as you might imagine. To introduce the members of that cast and to tell you a little bit about it, I will present to you Coco from the cast, Paul Harnish.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we start our little concert tonight, I'd just like to tell you that there are 9 leads in the production of the Mikado and 2 attendants to Coco and attendant to the Mikado. Well, very, very happy to be able to tell you that the 9 leads are all alive, they're well, and they're here with us tonight. This time now, I would like to introduce these folks to you. It's sort of going to be a game of then and now. The gentleman who played the leading role of the Mikado He was a medium-sized young man with black, wavy hair. 50 years later, he's still medium built, black hair, but he has a few gray ones mixed in. Here he is, Leon Agarini. Stand up, Leon. The lad who played the role of the lad who played the role of Nanky Poo was a slender young man with dark hair. Well, this gentleman is still slender. He still has the black hair, or the dark hair, but he's added a little spinach to the chin over the years. Here he is, Warren Pinkerton. Warren. The next three leads that I'd like to introduce to you are the three little maids from school. Well, the first little maid is Yum Yum. Now, she was a small girl with black hair. Well, she's still that small girl, but the hair is as white as angel wings. Here she is, Mary Singh. The second little maid is Pitty Singh. She was played by a small girl with a large alto voice. Well, this girl is now the mother of 8 children, but she still has the large alto voice. Here she is, Sally Slaughter. Sally. The third little maid was Beepo. She was played by a young girl who not only enjoyed singing, but also enjoyed playing the piano. So after graduation, she went on to be a choir director and a church organist, and she still is that church organist. Here she is, Inez Newcomer. Inez. Warren, would you please stand up again? Ladies and gentlemen, this couple fell in love after the Mikado. They were married. What's this? During the Mikado. I didn't know that. They fell in love during the Mikado. They got married. They are now the parents of 5 children and 13 grandchildren. They reside in Westminster, California. Here they are, Mr. The role of Cadishaw was played by a young girl who had dreams of owning a store. Well, her dreams came true. She and her husband, Russ, owned and operated a country store in Galton, Pennsylvania. But like most of us, they sold the store and they retired. Here she is, Doris Swisher. Doris? The role of Pooh-Bah was played by a tall, slender man with dark hair. Well, he's still tall, he's still slender with dark hair. In fact, I think he has found the fountain of youth. Cliff Wiener. Cliff. I just might add this. Cliff is the father of 4 children, 3 boys and a girl, and the last boy and a girl were twins. Now, the gentleman who played the role of Pish Tush was a small young man with blonde hair. Well, he's still that tall gentleman, but the blonde hair, let me put it to you this way. He could now play the lead of the king in The King and I. Now, the role of Coco was played by a young kid who had black hair and he weighed 140 pounds. Well, tonight this old goat has white hair. What's left? and he now weighs 200 pounds. And I'm referring to Paul Hardage. The young girl who tickled the ivories for us 50 years ago, she's back at the piano tonight to tickle the ivories, and here she is, Catherine Cave. Catherine, yeah. And the young man who was Coco's attendant was a small lad with dark hair and no mustache. Well, he's still that small a man, not much hair, but he does have a mustache. Here's Jim Gold. And last but certainly not least is the group that backed all these leads backed all these leads. Without this group, it would be impossible to stage any kind of a musical. So here they are, ladies and gentlemen, the Great Mikado Chorus. Stand up. Lovers, at this point, we are ready to present our little mini concert. So, Miss Shop, if you please. I'd just like to say one more thing. 50 years ago, when we gave the production, it was known as the Mikado or the Town of Kitty. Well, 50 years later, we had to make a slight revision of that title. So tonight the performance will be known as the Jericho Mikado, or the Senior Citizens Are Restless Tonight.
chances, liberated then on bail, on my own recognizances. I was wafted by a favoring gale, as was a fancies in trances, to a height that few can scale. I sing along in weary dances, surely never had a male, under such like circumstances, so adventurous tale, which may rank with most romances, taken from the county jails, devised in the curious chances, surely never had a male, so adventurous a tale.
sing McCaskey House in Philadelphia. We had kimonos and we had something like pajama bottoms. And they had a drawstring. Mine was about this big then, like I fit into now. Total wall. So we went out on the stage and we started to dance. And when I did, my drawstring broke. My collar fell down. I had to keep dancing and singing. I pulled up. It was that much material. I wound it up like this and finished winging up.
As we merrily dance, with the hope and the joy that
again, Mary Taylor Sager, who has a presentation to make.
Dear Dorothy Shaw, it is my privilege and honor to present these books of memories to you. These were contributed to by members of all the Glee Clubs directly. They're so heavy, we're not going to be able to hold them. Deep appreciation and love. Thank you.
Now, not to be outdone, I would like to present now to you Miss Pia Boban of the present McCaskey Vocal Ensembles to also make a presentation.
Mr. Kahn, we also have a scrapbook for you commemorating your 20 years of service at McCaskey, and also one from the present vocal ensemble in celebration of our trip to London and all the wonderful times we had. I want to thank you for all your service and time that you've given us.
Things to say. Number one, the reception will immediately following the last set here at the Alumni Chorus will be in the cafeteria. Now, many of you know that the cafeteria is generally that way and back. It is no longer that way and down. The auditorium's in the same place, but the gyms aren't there anymore. It's a chorus now. Anyway, everybody in the hall is invited to the reception. There are no exceptions. You are all invited. However, I have been asked to direct that would please those people on this side of the house exit on this side of the house and go back, turn right and go back the hall. The people on this side of the house, no, you are not going to have to sing antiphonally or anything. You will please exit on that side and go back the hall until you reach a corner, and then turn left. And then you'll merge in with the other group. Okay. Please, once you get back to the cafeteria, I have been asked, the food, drinks, and whatever else are all at the far end of the cafeteria. If you clutter up the doorway, we will never get to fifth period. So please just move right on through, and there will be AIM members who you probably met on your way in, dressed in red vests, with ordiors, or whatever they call them, passing around. So if you can't get close to the food tables, well, there's still a chance. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I did it. Don't you think those two people are absolute treasures? But Mr. Kahn is still on the payroll. And so he gets to do some more. May I present, under the baton of Orville Kahn, the McCaskey 50-year Alumni Chorus. Bravo.
On behalf of Gottschalk, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for being so wonderful. And after the alma mater, remember, the 75th is coming up. There is, in addition to the program concerning the alma mater, Mr. Peter Stolzfus, class of '86, will be the pianist. He was also our pitcher in the first part of the program, and Mr. Jay Boyer will be playing lead trumpet. We have the arranger in the audience this evening, and we hope we do him proud. And we would invite you, during the brass interlude that precedes the third verse, to stand, all of us, you didn't know this was going to happen, did you? On the last verse, and we will sing what is really the first verse together, all of us. You, be on the stage, up there on the shelf, backstage, and say happy birthday to JP in a great big way.